I am really enjoying this Cyber Slueth deck at the moment, and it's very fun. It's much more fun than I thought it would be. It is definitely kind of like a Galaxy deck. If you haven't played it, it's kind of, you recycle a lot of same level Digimons and stuff. The Wanyamon is the only one that you can play right now when you tuck in a Digimon underneath with the CS trait. Then you can Digivolve for a reduced cost of 1. Rookies, it's going to be basically we're doing all 12. I have seen some people run not 12. They cut like a Hagurumon. These are important ones, so they all do the same thing but have different effects. What I mean by that, so Palmon, when you Digivolve into a level 4, use its inherit, which is main once per turn, by placing CS trait Digimon top card stack underneath. You get to draw one. Then they'll have your turn when a card is tucked underneath. Their effects trigger. Palmon gives you a memory. Terriermon lets you play a CS Tamer if you have more than if you have one or less. And then the Hagurumon gives -3,000 to one of your opponent's Digimon. For the champions, you gotta run 4 of the gold Numemon just because of the inherit. Once you do tuck it underneath, when you Digivolve, it reduces the Digivolution cost by 1 for a Digimon with CS trait. It does have an unplay when Digivolving, give one of your opponent's Digimon security attack -2, which I think is actually pretty wild, especially with a lot of decks that have security attack plus and all that stuff. And then if you have two of the same level cards in the stack, then you can basically warp into Platinum Numemon, level 6 one. I tried it, it just doesn't work. I kind of wanted it to work, but it doesn't work. I don't know. I don't think this would work in a Numemon deck on itself with the inherit. 2 of the Gargomon. I'll talk about my ratios. A lot of people are playing this at 4. I honestly don't think it's really necessary because there's a lot of ways of playing out Tamers. You got the Terriermon, you got the Rise Greymon, and you got this one. And you got Mirai. If you're playing Mirai, you can, bring out Tamers. Really good. So this one, when you Digivolve, you can play a CS Tamer if you have 1 or less. And then inherit all turns get 1,000. So that 1,000, I feel like it's more a reason to play it. 2 Togemon. I think I'm going to drop this and either put 3 Gargomon or 1, or just flip it for a Gardromon. Togemon is okay. It has an on-play when Digivolving, give 1 Digimon 3,000 DP. It could be a different Digimon, which you could stack it on the Alphamon. And then if you have same level sources, so level 4 and you have another level 4 underneath, then you can give, this Digimon gets Raid and Piercing. So eventually it becomes an 8,000 DP. You have the Gargomon underneath, now you got 9,000, Raid and the Piercing. Doesn't come up so much. Well, yeah, you can use it, but you're really not going to use it that much because then if you do have the Piercing, you go through the Digimon you battle, and then you check security, and then if you get deleted, then that kind of goes your whole stack. So that's why it's not really optimal for the Togemon. The inherit gives you 2,000 DP. I like it more for that inherit of 2,000 DP. So we're definitely going to cut it to 1 and probably add 3 Gardromon. I actually really like this card. So it has an unplay when Digivolving. One of your opponent's Digimon gets -3,000 DP for the turn. Stack it with a Hagurumon, that's -6. And then if this Digimon stack has two or more same level cards to Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, that's awesome in case they kind of set you up for them to, ace when you attack. And just getting rid of bodies in that sense, which there isn't really much protection for the Digivolving. So that's for level 4s. And then the inherit here is opponent's turn. This Digimon gets 2,000 DP. For Rise Greys, you have Raid, Digivolve for 3 over CS trait. And when you Digivolve, if you have one or fewer Tamers with CS trait, or or Red or Black Tamer, you can play it. You can play a Black or Red Tamer, or a CS Tamer, for free. Digivolve, and then you got Raid here, so another reason why the Togemon isn't kind of all that necessary. However, if you do have the Togemon underneath, now you got 10k. With the Gardromon, he's 11k. We're really running this to play the Tamer for free when Digivolving, and then the inherit of security attack +1, because the Alphamon does unsuspend once every time, that's 4 checks in one go. And then 4 of the Akuamon, I actually really love this card. It has Fortitude. If you don't know what Fortitude is, correct me if I'm wrong. If it has a source underneath, if it gets deleted, it plays itself. That's it. Digivolve for 3. You have the on-plane one Digivolving. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if it has the same level, if it has in the stack, if it has the same levels, so 2 level 4s, 2 level 5s, whatever, then you can trigger the other side of this effect, which is return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with the lowest DP to the hand. If by chance, let's say they have 2 level 5s and you play one, or you Digivolve into one, and let's say one is suspended, but you really want to get rid of this one, you can target this one to suspend, so then that way you just target this one to go back to the hand. You don't have to target the other one. So that's pretty cool. I love the removal for this. And then the inherit all turns once per turn. When a Digimon is deleted by battle, you can trash their top security stack. That's pretty cool with like a, your blocker. I like that it's all turns and not just during your turn. So with Alphamon, if they end up attacking your block, not only do you get a DP ball from the Alphamon, but now you delete a Digimon, you can trash their security. So let's talk about that big boy Alphamon. This card is nuts. As Reboot and Blocker, you can Digivolve over the Kyoko for 5. If you have 3 security, that sucks. I don't know why they did that. And then not only that, it costs 5. Like, it's fine if it costs 5, but don't give it another restriction of you have to have 3 security or less. That really blows. I wish it didn't do that. Like, if you want to make it heavy cost, fine, go for it. So, Reboot Blocker has on play 1 Digivolving, 1 attacking, minus 5,000 DP to a Digimon. So, Digivolve, 5, attack, all turns triggers if you have a Kyoko underneath, or this stack has 2 of the same levels or more in the sources, it can unsuspend. It gets 3,000 DP, and then it unsuspends. And it gets 3,000. So it's at 15. When you swing, that's minus 10. And then you swing again, that's 15. And then during your opponent's turn, you have Reboot, which is why you would swing twice. Essentially what this Alphamon does. It's actually really busted. What sucks is that you don't really have protection for this deck. So if it gets popped, it gets popped. So you're just like, yeah. 2 Diaboromon, this card is actually pretty nuts. You combine this with the Rise Gray, you give it security attack plus 1. The Diaboromon, when Digivolving and when attacking, it has Alliance built in, by the way. When Digivolving and when attacking, you may play 1 token with Diaboromon level 6. Play cost 14, 3,000 DP. Then its all turns trigger, which is when any of your other Digimon with unidentified trait are played, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So sometimes this is better because you don't want to do DP reduction because you might not have enough. So Digivolve, play out a token, pop a Digimon with the lowest play cost. Then you swing, you got security attack plus 1 built in. You attack again, you can play out a token because it's not once per turn. And I got 3 bodies, and then use 1 for Alliance. That's plus 3, that's 15. And if you have inherits, it could go higher. And I got 3 checks in one go. It's not as good as having 4, right? But pretty nuts. Especially being able to, every time you attack, you keep widening your board, and you delete Digimon every time you summon tokens. 1 Dianamon. Card is cool, has Ice Clad and Blocker. When Digivolving, if it has 2 or more same level cards in the stack, trash any 4 Digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon with 1 or fewer Digivolution cards to the bottom of the deck. Sometimes you want to bottom deck things, which is beautiful, like a Medieval Gallantmon. You don't want to recycle it back to the hand. You want to bottom deck it or delete it, So bottom decking stuff. And then what's cool about this one is at the end of the turn, you can unsuspend one of your Digimon. Doesn't have to be that one, but ideally you want to do this one because it does have Blocker. Why are we running this one? Besides the removal, it has an inherit that can benefit, especially with the rookies being able to recycle them. So the inherit for this is end of your turn, one of your Digimon will unsuspend. So this is really cool when you do have your stack. Let's say you have this stack here, and then you have the Digi-Egg that allows you to tuck in the level 6. So you tuck this in right after you remove something, tuck it in, and now you could go into another level 6, but here we go into a Diaboromon, play out the token, swing, play out another token, Alliance, 3 checks, end of turn, go ahead and unsuspend the Diaboromon. That's why Dianomon's cool. You don't want to run more than one. I mean, you can if you really want to, but sometimes it's in my hand and I don't really use it. A lot of the times you build up and you run out of memory or pass this turn and you have your level 5s. I tried Gaiomon. I like it, but it felt like these were better playing it over, right? Like, why do I want to unsuspend the Digimon and then swing into it when I can just Digivolve and delete it? Unless it's multiple bodies. Or why do I want to do that if I could just Digivolve and give something minus 15 and still attack you? So it just, yes, you have piercing with the Gaiomon and it gets, 5,000 DP. And then you Digivolve for 4, yes, it could reduce. So you can run one of, I just chose not to. Because I would have it in my hand and I really wouldn't want to Digivolve into it. So a lot of the times when you end up in level 5s, I realize you're kind of missing aces. We do have 2 aces. You have the Leopard Ace, which can work here, but actually I don't like it. If I'm going to run an ace, I want to be able to bounce a body. So of course, that is why we're running All-Force Ace. Multiple reasons why we're running this. 1, All-Force on play, or when Digivolving, you can play a Blue Tamer with V in its name, or Blue Tamer. Don't worry about that, we're not running Blue Tamers. But you have another effect that return one of your opponent's lowest level Digimon to the bottom of the deck. So now they swing, and if, for whatever reason you got here, you can blast. And then if they get deleted because your DP is higher, now you got rid of 2 bodies, or you get rid of the attacking body. More importantly, it is a play cost of 7. Sometimes you are gonna hard drop it if you're in a corner. When attacking once per turn, this Digimon may unsuspend. So now we have kind of that thing with Alphamon where we can swing, security attack +1, unsuspend, swing again, that's 4 checks. Now yes, you're probably thinking overflow. What I love though is, let me just show you this really quick combo. We're not going to run through all this, right? But let's say you have it in your stack, level 5s. Check this out. You already have your Alphamon. You swing, 2 checks, unsuspend, get 3k. So now you got 3k minus 5 on something. Trigger the egg. Bring this down here. Yes, it has no inherit, but you already got 2 checks in. You got 2 checks in. Digivolve to the All-Force for 2, or even for free with the Amy. Now you can bounce something else. Swing, that's another 2 checks, that's 4. Unsuspend, and swing again, that's 6 checks. So this is the level 6 lineup. I'm still waiting for more to come in the mail. But yeah, I really do love the All-Force in this deck, and I was running it at 1, but then I didn't see it as much, and I really wanted to see it, so I bumped it back up to 2. For level 7s, I did try running Omnimon. It's a good card to run, especially because a lot of your stack has same levels. Downside is, I had it in my hand a lot, and when I was able to play it, I kind of didn't want to, or I didn't want to pay all that cost. Yeah, you can do it with the Tamer if you're talking a 6 and Digivolve to another level 6. But yeah, I don't know, it just wasn't necessary. 3 of the Kyokos, I keep going between 3 and 2. I feel like 3 is too much, but then sometimes I'm like, man, it would have been nice if I had her. So play cost of 5. It is a memory setter. All turns when one of your Digimon play level 4 or higher with the CS traits gets deleted, you can suspend this Tamer. And then when you suspend it, you can recycle a CS card trait from your trash. Then During your turn, when this card unsuspends, if you have 3 security or less, you can digivolve if you don't have Alphamon. If you have Alphamon, you can't do it, which is another, like, why. If you don't have Alphamon, you can digivolve into Alphamon for a reduced cost of 2. So from 5, you're going to go to 3. Whoopee. And then you'll be able to, boom, do that. -5. Swing on suspend 5. You know, do all that stuff again. I have like a love-hate relationship with this card. They are pretty cheap. Eventually, I feel like you're going to see more play with this. And that you're probably going to need them and they might spike. So if they're cheap and you don't have them, I would suggest just getting them. 3 of the... Is it Amy or Ami? Let me know. 3 of these. Start your main phase if your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. This one, essentially, the way this works, instead of reading it, let me just explain it. So you digivolve, right? You have 3, digivolve for 2. Use Rookie, inherit, tuck underneath. Draw 1. Now that you did that, reduce it by 1, digivolve again. If you had the Numemon, it would reduce 2, so it'd be for free. In this case, it's not. So now you digivolve. Now you have 2 of the same levels, and then that's when this card triggers. Trigger it, suspend, and you can digivolve for free into a CS trait. They can't stack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they stack. Because then, since they digivolve into that, it would have to see another level 5 in its source in order for you to trigger it. 2 Mires. People are playing Yugo. Can you guys just tell me, like, why? I understand it. You can play the Yugo, reveal 3, and then when you hard drop a Tamer or a Digimon with CS, it reduces by 2 by bottom decking it, or you can keep recycling and go through the deck. But for this deck, I just don't think you need that. I really don't. Like, are you really playing stuff besides the Tamers? Start your main phase by returning this Tamer to the bottom of the deck. You may play a play cost of 4 or higher Mire, or 4 cost or higher Tamer with the CS trait. So now you play this, unplay can trash a card with CS in a straight, and then you get to draw 2. I'd rather draw 2 than reveal 3 and only get 1. So then after you start your main phase, bottom deck this, and you can play any of these for free. You can't obviously play this because it's play cost of 3. I'm only running it at 2 because sometimes it can be a dead card after you have the whole draw thing and you don't have a Tamer in your hand. Last but not least, just 1 Rada. I was running this at 2, but since I upped my count to Alphamon from 3, I was playing it at 2. Memory Setter, and then when your opponent attacks, by suspending this, you can redirect your attack to a Digimon with CS trait. I like that because, you know, your All-Force, like these, don't have block. Yes, these do. But even with these, let's talk about this. You can block once, block twice, 3 blocks. 2 blocks, 1 block. Right? Yeah. So just being able, not even only that, to any of your Digimon with CS trait, you can make them blocker, which can help. I actually really like it. I did have it at 2. You could swap these 3 for the Yugos if you want to go the Yugo route. 3 of the Detective Agency, you could also cut out an All-Force, or you can cut out any other card you don't like to play 4 of. 4 of is great. I think 3 is good enough, to be honest. You drop it, it's basically a memory boost for CS. Reveal 3, add a CS trait. Digimon. Card. No, so you could even get a Tamer. Sorry. And then delay, gain 2 memory. I have been busy now that I am a new dad, but the grind don't stop. Grind don't stop. I'll see you guys in the next video.